I think of forgiveness as one of the kind of like one of the keys to living in balance. Um, I was reading a story earlier, and it was kind of is how Amelie was talking about, but it was about it's basically about like this angry. It was a children's story in preparation for this class, and it was basically about a colonization of bees, and sometimes they would bump into each other, and when they did, one bee would say I'm sorry and the other one would say it's okay, I forgive you, and they just go on their way. But then in this instance, one instance, the bee decided not to say I'm sorry, and to instead, or not to forgive, instead of say, well, you shouldn't have bumped into me, and kind of like held on to that grudge. And because of that, he missed out on a lot of things that were happening. Like he just like disconnected from, the entire healthy society that was happening amongst these bees. And it wasn't until he was able to forgive that he was able to go, be released from this kind of this self-imposed separation. So really he was hurting himself more than he was hurting the one that he wasn't forgiving. So I see that. I just see it as something that's totally fundamental, and it's not easy. It's hard. Like some of my deeper like traumas around like my family, like I was still like, even though I've been going through the process of forgiving for years, I find that I've actively been seeking out that forgiveness, and I've said I forgive. There's still stuff deep inside of me that I'm trying to work out. So yeah, I agree with a lot of what everybody said. Yeah, and I think it's part of the golden rule, like treat others how you want to be treated, and treat yourself how you'd like others to treat you, and that like forgiveness is key. It's a part of the love. It's part of what keeps us healthy. It's a gift. All these things. So, anyways, but like anything else, like these keys, it's like the practice, right? It's the practice of these things, like actively incorporating that into our lives. So that's what I would say about forgiveness. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. And Miss Rachel over here, she's our last one over here. I'm gonna put her right here.
Hi. Yeah, I think that the thing that I have to say about forgiveness is just that it's embracing our imperfections, and that embracing our imperfections is actually a beautiful thing, and it is a part of nature and the way that we work. And sometimes we just have to forgive ourselves for something we didn't do right. We have to forgive others for what they can bring or not bring to a situation, and yeah, just embrace our imperfection, because that is nature, and it will keep changing and evolving. And yeah,
Very
Change is the only
I put down for Rachel embracing our humanity, because this process is a part of being human. It's a really important part of being human, and it's a part of healing. New Orleans, we are New Orleans, and we're renowned. People come here from all over the world. They come for our music, they come for our jazz, they come for our culture, they come for our juice. We've been through a lot here, we the people. And so, and we're still speaking.
No, that will hurt you.
And we have these tools. And part of it, our second line, our Mardi Gras Indians, our art, our artists, our music, our culture, our dancing, our stories. That's all part of our response to the needs of the times, and it's our healing response. And you all out there in New Orleans, you can be doing that every time you make art. Today we're going to make a poetry and we're going to take a little bit of time. So get your art paper up. And you know, our poems don't have to rhyme, they don't have to be long. We're going to spend about 7 minutes, maybe 10, writing our poems about forgiveness. And I'm hoping that you all will text these or email these to your teachers, especially our 4th grade teachers, Mr. Mormon, Mr. Bean, and Miss Barabino, because they started sending out these art classes last spring because we didn't have Jazz Fest. So I'm going to give you all some time, and remember when you write, sit up nice and straight. You know, no slumping. You're doing something important here. Even if nobody sees it, the act of making art, the act of creating, is a healing in itself. So sit up nice and straight. Pick up the pencil and write your poem.
And you can
Go
use some of the vocabulary that we've listed. So
Can you help me?
yeah. And
Yeah. You want to underline? We got another color there, Mr. Nick. You want to sort of go back and like, you know, maybe repeat some of that forgiveness.
Sure, let me.
Connection. Why don't you do
Let me
that?
just read aloud.
Yeah, please.
Because you know, if you're not feeling inspired to write your poem, we've already kind of written a poem here, so you can just elicit some of these phrases and vocabulary as some words too. So that's kind of up to each one of you to decide. Like, you know.
Right.
So forgiveness brings connection.
Yeah.
It is our medicine. I forgive because sometimes something bad happened to the person
Who made the wrong?
who made the wrong. Forgiveness is a gift of surrender, self-care, loving myself equals loving others.
James, yeah.
It's a choice, a process with each breath until one day I feel free. Forgiveness allows us to unlearn.
I didn't write it. Unlearn poor behavior.
Unlearn poor behavior, conditioning. It's also, Dejavon said it was an act of love. One of the acts of love.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Kat said it was forgiveness is a practice, like
brushing your teeth.
like brushing your teeth. And it was something that she chose to do every day. And Rachel says it's part of embracing our humanity.
This is mine.
I think that's part of the brushing your teeth.
She's the one who said brushing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So there's some of the vocabulary. So you guys can elicit from these. Even those who are here, you're welcome to come up if you can't see the board and have a better look. If you want to grab some words from here, yeah. So also a good way to start with the paper is you can trace the frame. We like to do that just as a way to start.
No, I want to.
As a way to help you focus and kind of just get into it, make the frame of it, so you can trace a frame around your paper.
Here we go.
And you just go from left to right, all the way around like that. And then you want to start just by writing forgiveness at the top of your paper.
Now remember in class I had you all see how Mr. Nick's doing this. He's turning his paper. I can't turn the whiteboard, but I'm just kind of giving an example. Don't use a ruler. This is freehand.
If I do this to him,
You have to sit up nice and straight. Makes you focus.
That was fun.
So notice how everybody's working. See how everybody's kind of focused and working? And at home you can be too. You can sit with us and work on your poem. And then you can send that to us. You know, we can have it in our next art lesson. We have this wonderful cover here that Miss Cat has put up for us, our art classes, so that we can continue on. Our classes will start up again in October. And we'll be with you again.
You want to drink some more?
Look at here's Miss Rosie.
Yeah, you want it right there?
You remember being a baby, y'all? I do. Okay, we're going to have about a minute and a half, 90 more seconds. Did you want to? Here, let me show you again. There you are. Say hello.